We're going to go over what goes on in your swing. One thing that we're going to talk about is motion measurement. So these little things, the straps you have on, are measuring how your shoulders and your hips are either turning or tilting as you swing.
Right.
When you see green, that's good. Yellow, maybe not so good. Red is definitely bad. The reason why it's going to be really big for you is you kind of said something at the beginning about your swing was short. It's not really short. Your arm swing's a little shorter.
Okay.
Your shoulder turn hits tour level every single swing.
Okay.
So, I've been in this for a really long time, and it used to be when we started with this was where the shaft had to be at the top. It's dependent on your flexibility.
Right.
So Dustin Johnson liked this at the top, Craig Stadler not so much.
Right.
And again, you're not as wide across the shoulders as Craig Stadler, but the point being is we look at whether your body's turning or not where the shaft is at the top.
Okay.
That's got a lot of other things to do with it. So we're going to talk piece by piece. We're going to use Justin Rose because he's about your height, and he's got a pretty good swing, and this is really cool too. This was actually done in a Golf Tech studio, so it's kind of apples to apples. Stance width, I would widen out a little bit.
Okay.
So not overly wide. Your biggest problems, which you know already, which is the shut face, but the other thing is you've overcooked flat, so you're kind of, we'll see it in a little bit here, the club's kind of a little too far out away from you.
Okay.
The biggest thing we're going to really talk about is through impact. Way too much tilt to the right.
Okay.
And through impact. That's your biggest issue. That's why you can't hit the fairway woods and the hybrids. That's why you can't pitch.
Right.
So we're going to spend a lot of time on that. We're going to talk about some of this other stuff, though, because it is important. So at address, I'd get you a little bit wider. The other thing which freaks guys out when they first come here, but pretty much tour players are playing everything about 3 inches off their left instep, with the exclusion of the driver, which is off the instep. But even the wedges, they're playing more forward. That helps you get to the low point of the arc better. So generally, low point of the arc for most players can be right around the shirt logo or the breast or the armpit, however you want to look at that. We're going to talk about your posture more from down the line, but you could stand to be a little bit taller up. Now we're just going to take a look at the regular part of the swing. So let's draw some lines here. The next thing we're going to talk about is you can actually let your head swivel a little bit on your spine. You make a real concerted effort to keep your head still, and then what happens is you end up moving it at the end anyways. So you'd be a little bit better off if you just started letting your head swivel a little bit here. So Justin Rose, here, we'll make this easy. He kind of swivels his head a little bit there. You actually move a little forward with your head, and you're really trying to keep that head solid. So your head's actually a little in front of the ball here and stays there. To this point, it's pretty good. You've got a good turn off the ball. But watch what happens when we go here. Now your head goes back quite a bit.
Right.
So you'd be better off to just let it swivel a little bit to start, like he does, as opposed to trying to keep it still.
Okay.
Or you can have a little bit of lateral head movement, not a ton, but a little bit would knock you. But right off the ball, that would help you a lot. Because what happens is because of what you've done right here, that club face is shut.
Right.
It's really shut. And the club is getting pretty flat behind you, or your right arm is getting pretty flat or too tucked into your side there as well. And that's what's causing the shut club face. We get to the top. So there's your shoulder turn is 80 degrees. The tour level is anywhere between 80 to 98 degrees. You're fine. You can see everything's green. You've not swayed, so we're looking at your shoulders and your hips, how much they're moving toward the target. That differential should be no more than 1.0. You're 0.3. So this is fine, but this is huge.
Yeah.
So, ironically, we're probably not going to deal with this today because I think this hang back thing is worse for you than this, although I'm not a big fan of this, but the hang back through impact. The red number we see here is this angle here. Shoulder tilt left, that should be about 36 degrees. And you're at 51.
Okay.
So that's something at some point in time that would be needed taken care of. Your downswing move is very nice. It's very strong. So coming through, a nice bump of the hips. The club, we'll see more from the inside, flattens out. This is the big problem here. Look at how far your spine is tilting at impact to the right. Now watch him. So he's right up, head's right up on the ball line, spine not tilted back. This is really hard on your back too. You're pretty young, but this is, so your hip tilt here should be 12 degrees to the right. You're 25. Keeps your shoulders from opening a lot. And then watch as we come through post impact.
Chicken wing.
Well, the chicken wing is caused by the body movement. So if we go back to, let's do this. If we draw a line straight up from the ball, that's you at impact, that's him. So see how his spine is much more on the ball?
Yeah.
Head much more up on the ball. This is why you can't pitch and chip. So this is a big, so we're, even though I don't like the shut club face, after we get you set up better, we're going to this, because this is the deal breaker for you. So the chicken wing is a problem, but if I get here, my spine goes this way, my arms pull off my body.
Right.
If my spine goes this way, my arms stay on my body, it gets rid of the chicken wing.
Okay.
And then finish, look at how much more forward he is of the ball line than you. And that leaning back residual is still there.
So my body can't get all the way around.
Yeah.
I'm so far back I can't get.
Right.
I'd have to swim.